This conference will now be recorded.
Hello. You are on mute. Yes, but not able to hear you. Are you able to hear me? No, I'm not able to hear you anything from your side, Q&A. Nope. Can you please rejoin? Hello.
This
Oh,
conference will now be recorded.
okay. Okay. How about your training, Hemant? Did you practice the things? Did you try go through the debug page and the console, IIQ console? Hemant, you are on mute.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, actually, I've uh, went through IIQ, like UI page, and found few things.
Mhm.
And actually, yesterday I have not uh, attend the class because there is a power outage in my area. But I went through the recording before this class, and
Mhm.
whatever you said, like I have few questions on it.
Okay, just tell me.
Yeah, so I've noted down. Like, so you told we can delete an application, right? Like from
Yes,
IIQ console or a debug page.
yes,
So if we want to delete everything, we use a star. But
correct.
if we want to delete, let's suppose two or three, like how can we delete? Like, can we use the same command, like delete application using in the
Yeah,
quotations we use app name, right? Can we use like to delete like two or three?
yeah, you can delete, but you need to provide one by one. Let's say
Okay,
we
is it
have
a
given.
comma separated?
No, 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 no. You need to provide one by one.
Okay, one by one. Okay, I was asking like, can we delete in the same command? Like, if I want to delete two or three, that's not possible, right?
No, no.
Okay, okay. That is one thing. And let's suppose in by mistake, if I deleted everything, like let's suppose if I use a star and if I delete everything, can I recover? Is there any option to recover?
And
Because it's
depends what you're deleting. So let's say if you deleted the workflow. Okay,
okay,
if you deleted all the workflows, and there are a lot of out of the box custom workflow, you can delete it, whatever you have created, that is fine. But if you created the things which is provided by the sale point, in that case, if you have deleted those things, what you need to do, you need to import init.xml, import init lcm.xml again.
okay, okay,
Okay,
yeah,
clear?
yeah. And one more thing, Mohit. So sometimes, right? Usually when we deploy, like when we push our code and push it to Bitbucket or GitHub, usually we have someone reviewing our code, right?
Yes,
Like
yes,
let's suppose our lead or something. So because we are deleting all this identity or some other things, is there someone monitoring it? Because it's not like it's in a big organization, right? Let's suppose there are 100, like 10,000 people, and if I delete something, uh, if I delete something, so will there
yes, yes.
be anyone who can monitoring it? Because
No, no.
uh,
Monitoring will
uh,
not be there because see what happens now. You would not be obviously get the access of productions. You would be working on the dev environment, right? It is your complete
right,
your environment. If I am working in dev environment, there would be not 100 people working on dev environment. They divided a team. Only 5 or 6 people would be working on the dev environment. In dev also they create a cluster that you would be working on the dev delta, you would be working on the dev charlie, you would be working on the. It depends like how the organization create a structure. Now, some organizations have, like as you said, they have one dev environment over there that 50 or 100 people work on that. In that case, this is that first create your own local environment, push your changes into the local. Once everything is running, then only push the changes to the dev environment. Clear or not?
oh, yeah, clear,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. In my case, it's not like that. I don't need to configure the local environment. In that case, my company says we are only 5 developer who are working on this project. Okay, and there are 10
okay,
developer who are working on different project. Now for 5 developer they have given two dev server to us. Okay, so
okay, okay,
in that case we can do anything on our dev server. It's our, obviously we should not break because other 5 developer will sit ideal if I break the environment. But I have it's my environment, and I am fully responsible to making any changes on that environment. If I want to, initially they were not allowing me to do the changes, but right now after having 2 or 3 experience on the see, the client does not understand the person is having knowledge or not. They just understand once the user is familiar with the product. Now after having 3 year of experience on the their environment, in their working environment, they say, Mohit, do whatever you want to do. We will not, they don't say anything if I break the environment, but I need to take a trust of the other that okay, I'm making the changes in this, it might break. So it would be might, if something goes wrong, to be there, like it would be fixed into the 30 minutes or 15 minutes. I need to update the other 5 developer. Okay, clear.
Okay, okay. Yeah, got it. Yeah, clear. Yeah. Other thing is like suppose by mistakenly if I have deleted one identity, let's suppose I have deleted one user identity in an application or something, and if I push that without my knowledge, and if someone doesn't monitor and that goes to prod, and
No, 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 it
we
will
have
not go. See, it will not go until unless your code would be reviewed. It will not push to the production.
okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
let's suppose you're saying that if I delete in local and if I'm pushing it to dev environment, so whatever I made changes, like if I create an
Whatever you,
identity or if I
whatever,
delete,
whatever
that changes
changes
will be
you are
there.
pushing, whatever changes you are pushing, someone will review the changes. Your manager or your team lead will will ensure that your code does not have any mistakes. Okay, if it is
Yeah,
has
yeah.
mistake, then he will suggest you that Hemant, this is the issue. This I'm feeling that it might create a problem. Can you please check again? Then you will
Sure.
verify the things. Okay, that is how it
Yeah.
works.
Code perspective is fine because we write some code and the
Yes,
differences will show it in Bitbucket. But how
yes, yes.
about deleting an identity or something? So how will that get reflected? Like how will that get reviewed?
So if you are deleting the identity in the dev environment, that that is nothing with the production environment, right? You are deleting from the UI,
Correct.
so that is
But
not a problem, right?
but is let's suppose that deletion should happen in production. So is that a separate process to delete the same thing in production, or these changes will go there?
No, no, no. The deletion would not trigger into the production. If you're deleting the identity in
Oh,
the dev environment, it will not delete it. The both are these all are separate. The code will push here and there, but
okay,
the
okay.
UI
Code is
changes will not
only
push.
process of pushing it, like committing
Yeah,
or
correct,
deploying, but
correct.
the all identity creation or identity deletion, editing
And
and
anything
everything, that is a separate process.
application creation, everything you need to create separately over there as well. Application creation
Okay.
can be pushed, but identity creation will be using the aggregation.
Okay, okay, got it. Got it.
Clear. Hey, Dean is
Yeah,
getting
clear.
some issue, I'm not sure. Dean, are you still not able to hear? Okay, let's wait for few minutes and then we'll start. uh,
Sure, sure. Okay. And I have one more question, Mohit.
yes,
Like,
yes, go ahead.
so we have identity warehouse there. You said one point that we are creating uh, these identities from like from authoritative application, right?
Correct.
Like we have an identity warehouse where we create identities from authoritative application. So how will create a non-authoritative identities from a non-authoritative? Is it from the
Identity
identity warehouse?
identity should not create from non-authoritative application. Okay, identity should never be created from the non-authoritative application. The
Okay,
link should be attached from non-authoritative to identities. Okay, I will explain you in detail whenever we'll do that, so you will get idea.
okay,
Clear.
okay.
uh,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not
sure.
sure whether we will join or not because it's already 8:10, so let's start. For
Okay.
Dean, I'm not sure what is the issue. We are not able to hear you, Dean, and neither I'm not sure whether you are able to hear me or not. But don't know what is wrong with the where is the issue. Okay, let me start the things. Okay, so we will understand. Today we will understand how to configure the authoritative applications. How to configure authoritative applications. So what we are doing for the authoritative application, What is authoritative application, Hemant?
So whatever we get from the HR or whatever we get from a web service, those are all authoritative.
Correct. HR feed file is authoritative. HR feed
Yeah.
file, source of truth,
Yes. Right.
source of truth, okay, or origin of.
Yeah.
Now, what can be the authoritative application? It can be delimited file, which is nothing is,
CSV file.
or
It
it
might
can be the,
be also a Excel sheet also because I
yeah,
remember we can
delimited is
convert
nothing is
like
Excel. Yeah, delimited
Excel,
is
right?
Excel.
Yeah.
If you see here,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have a
So
Excel right now.
usually,
If you open this CSV directly, double click on this, na, it will open in Excel only.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't install this. I don't have the Microsoft license version of the
Okay.
Excel.
Okay.
Okay, that's why
No
it is
problem.
not showing. But if you open in your if you see in your laptop now, this authemployee.csv would be looking like a Excel file
Right.
in your environment, right? So
Yeah.
that is the
Right.
things. Or you can use the JDBC, correct?
JDBC, whatever the JDBC you're saying, it's coming from a web service, right? Like that pulls the data from one source. Like HR will put some data in that
No,
database or
I'm
something.
talking. Yeah, I'm talking about the MySQL any database.
Okay.
Okay, they can feed the data into the database as well, right? They can open the
So, okay.
database,
Yeah.
correct or not?
And we pull the data from there, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
But here
Okay.
in the training, we will be using the JDBC as the non-authoritative and delimited as authoritative. Okay, but I'm just giving you the example. This can be the JDBC. Sometimes they can be using a Workday as a non-authoritative application. Okay, clear? JDBC
Clear. But,
JDBC
but
is
the thing
mostly
is,
used in the organizations they use a JDBC. The big organization use JDBC as the authoritative application. Now go ahead.
yeah, but still JDBC is an authoritative only, right? Because it's not something we created or something someone gives it. It's something HR feeds the data into some database and we get that. It's an
Correct.
authoritative, right?
But you can make, see, it depends on you what, how you are using the application. You want to make this as authoritative or you want to make it as non-authoritative. I can make this delimited as a non-authoritative as well.
Okay.
Okay, I will show you that as well, that how
Okay.
a
Okay.
delimited file can be the non-authoritative. See, don't confuse whether the delimited can be authoritative. Anything, any application, even AD can be authoritative. Any application which company says that this is my feed file would be the authoritative. Don't be confused with the type, that this type only would be the authoritative. Any feed file, any application which the business is saying this should be my feed file can be authoritative applications. Clear or not?
Clear. So you're saying like anything can be authoritative or non-authoritative.
Correct.
Okay.
But generally, I'm just giving you the example. In normal organizations, the delimited file would be around 40%, 30% company you use that, or you can say 20%. 70% use MySQL, and MySQL means JDBC. It can be Oracle, MS SQL, depend on the company to company, and 10%
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
the Workday as well. Okay,
Okay.
clear?
Can I ask you one question? So is the workday means like whenever we join a company and then there's a workday application, we put our data into it. Is it the one?
Correct.
Okay,
Workday is
okay,
the
got
application where HR will feed your data directly over there instead of CSV file, instead of JDBC. They will feed the data into the Workday.
it. Okay,
Okay, clear?
clear, clear. Thank
Okay. Now coming to the configuring the applications. So today I will explain you how we will onboard authoritative applications. First, this is my authoritative application, authemployee.csv. Now, how it has been written, it is has a header column in the first line, right? And then it
Right.
contains the data. Data contains employee ID, first name, last name, manager ID, full name, email, department, and all those things. Now,
Yeah.
see here, all the data is separated from the comma. That's why we call it as a CSV file, comma separated file. Correct?
Yeah. Correct. Correct.
Okay. Now, we need to fetch this data into the identity. We need to load all this data into the identity IQ. Let me remove few users from the end.
Okay.
Yes. This is the old training students, old few training systems. Let me remove this
Yeah.
and let's save this. And now I want to fetch all this data into the IAQ. What should I do? First, I will onboard the application. This is the first thing which you need to do in the organization once the installation is done. The first thing is onboarding an authoritative application. Onboarding an authoritative application. Click on the add new
Okay.
application.
So
What
onboarding
is
is nothing but we uh, create identities for a user. Like
not a
we
create
create
identity,
identities.
creating an application.
Okay.
Application
That,
onboarding means creating application in the identity IQ, and the application what it will do, the application contains user and group information. So ultimate goal of any identity access management is managing the users and their access, correct or not?
correct. Correct.
So this is when someone says application onboarding, which means the creating application, configuring the application in IIQ. Clear?
Clear. But what does that application consist of? Identities only, right?
Application will consist of identities and groups. It depends if they want to consist of groups. Otherwise, identity would be definitely be there. Groups is optional. If it is authoritative, then they don't need to contain the groups.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Clear?
Clear.
So let's say we give the HR feed file name, and here let's say give a name of Hemant.
Okay.
Okay. Now the owner, right now we have only one owner, which is the SP admin. So we'll give the SP admin.
Okay.
Okay.
So
The
whenever we create one, right? Like suppose if I am doing this application onboarding, do I need to give like if I am doing, should I give my owner name, like my name? Or...
no. You will not provide your owner. The business will suggest that who would be your owner of the application.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
clear?
Clear.
And this is what these are the type of the application. So let's say you need to select the delimited file. So you select the delimited. Once you select the
Okay.
delimited, automatically configuration will load here. See here, the automatically configuration will load. You don't need to click anywhere. If you change this to the Active Directory, automatically configuration will load for the Active Directory. Okay,
Okay.
let's go back to the delimited. Now here there's an option called authoritative application. You need to checkbox this to ensure whether this is an authoritative application or not. Okay, but
Okay.
don't be confused. This is just for reference purpose. Okay, even if it is not selected, it does not mean that this cannot be authoritative application. Okay,
Okay.
clear or not? This is just for
Clear.
reference, just for reference to understand whether these are authoritative or non-authoritative. But actually, inside the code, the IAQ does not check this attribute. They never check this attribute. Okay, the setting which you are configuring, it depends whether it is authoritative, non-authoritative. Okay, but they never check this attribute. Clear or not? This is just for
Clear.
the user's
E-
reference.
So even if we don't put it by default, it will be an authoritative application.
It depends how you are configuring. If I will configure this
Okay.
HR feed file and I will give the information related to the HR feed file, then even I will not select it, it should consider as a authoritative application.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Clear?
Clear.
What is the revoker? This would be, see here, there is a tooltip. If you click on this question mark, it will give you the information about this particular attribute. Enter the
Okay.
identity that will be assigned remediation by default. When remediation of this app are created, the certification process. This revoker is for the when you are certifying the identities. right? You remember there there are few certifications, and we talk in the governance model when we are talking about the compliance manager.
Compliance
Remember?
manager.
Yes. So when you certify the particular identity, you want to revoker. Just give me 1 minute.
Yeah.
So revoker is the person who will get the a request when someone will trigger a certification for this particular application, and he need to revoke the approve or revoke the application. Okay, that is the that is the purpose of the revoker. What is the proxy application here?
Here I have a confusion. So revoker is basically he can approve, remove the identity, right?
See, revoker means, let's say you don't want to trouble a owner, you put a revoker means, let's say if you trigger a certification, okay, you trigger a
Okay.
certification, and that you the person who will revoke the application, revoke the access, who will ensure whatever the access has been assigned to you, uh, it will uh, it will approve or revoke. That is the person which request will, if the revoker is not present, then obviously request will go to the owner. If revoker is not there, if revoker is not there, then request will assign to the owner itself. But if revoker is there, then request will assign to this user instead of application owner. It will go to this revoker.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, we will cover in
Yeah.
detail, that time you will understand. Okay, that's fine. Okay, when we will
Yeah.
cover the
Okay.
certification. Okay, what is a proxy application?
No idea.
Not
Okay,
sure.
hey, hi Rudhi.
Hey Mohit, sorry guys, I joining late.
No problem. Okay, so the proxy applications means, let's say the few application, few organization says that boss, I don't trust on identity IQ. This is the boss, I don't trust on identity IQ. Okay, I don't want my Active Directory should be directly connected to the identity IQ because I can't trust on identity IQ. So in that case, SailPoint provides a feature. This is okay. If you don't trust on identity IQ, what you can do, you just call this proxy application, and this proxy application will call the, actually it's kind of proxy server, but this is applicable only for few applications like a mainframe and all those things. Mainframe have a different servers, right, to connecting. So over there you need to configure a proxy applications, and then in proxy application we'll talk to that actual application. Okay, the thing is, IIQ will not directly connect to the Active Directory. It will talk to the another third-party application, and the third-party application will connect to the Active Directory. Then response will back. The ID will send a response back to the proxy application, and the proxy application will revert back to the identity IQ. Clear or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is the things. Now, what is a profile class? The profile class is just an optional class matching with the application only. This is for the entitlement correlation. That is not useful. When we are doing the entitlement correlation, that time to search the application we use the profile class, but that's fine, not a issue. And this extended attribute is I have added. I will remove it quickly so that you don't be confused right now. This is at the end. Once training will be at the end, that time we will show this the extended attribute. Okay, so right now don't worry about those things. Okay, now if you go to the option. Okay, let me quickly configure it again. HR feed file. I'm just giving name Hemant, owner SP admin, application delimited, selected the authoritative applications. Why it has been not removed? Okay, I will see that one. Okay, now coming to the configuration. If you go to the configuration, right now you will be able to see few things. Now you are seeing file path, file encoding, file transport, parsing, delimiter. Now this file path means the file of the CSV file where you will provide the from where the file will come. Correct or not? So let's say you are this is their path. So I'm providing this path here. So copy this whole path slash the file name. So my file name is auth employee. So you need to provide full name authemployee.csv. Clear or not?
Clear.
Now, is that file contain any encoding? In that case, you need to provide the encoding. Encoding means, let's say this is the encoding, right? Right now, which is the default one, which is encoded with the UTF-8. If it is has something, in that case, you need to provide the encoding here. Okay, if you don't have any encoding, in that case, you don't need to define anything. Specify the encoding that was used while saving the data file. If this is a left blank, the application server will understand there is no encoding required. Okay, default encoding will be used. Clear or not?
Yes. One question
Yeah.
actually.
Yes.
The file path is the where the file is coming from.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So this is called file transport. Obviously, the file would not be on your server, correct or not? It would be on the HR server, correct? So
Yeah.
right now we are using local, but generally what you need to do, you need to use the FTP or SCP, file
I see.
transfer protocol. Yeah, in the FTP you need to provide host, username and password, and then you need to provide the path of the application, path of the file. Is that clear?
Yes.
Mohit, here
Yes.
the path, host, user, and password will be given by the HR.
No, it will be given by the business who wants to configure the application. And yes, the path would be the HR feed. HR will not provide you. The HR doesn't know what is the application. They don't know about the application. They just about this file application. They can give to the business, and the business will provide where this HR host is, what is the username and password. Okay, or you can
Okay.
understand the HR will provide, but actually the things will come from the business only, right? As a developer
Right, right.
or as an implementer, everything will come from the business. That okay, Mohit or Hemant, you need to configure this. These are the configuration data which you need to configure like that. Okay, clear?
Clear.
Okay, so if you are using FTP, then you need to configure the host name, username, password. Obviously, in real organization, it would be FTP or SCP. So you need to configure that. And right now we are in local, so we are selecting the local. Now, what is
Mohit,
delimiter?
what is the
Yes.
difference between FTP and SCP?
They are just a protocol for the file transfer. If you search here FTP versus SCP, you will get to know.
Okay, okay. It's a general thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's the file transfer protocol. It's not related. SCP is a better design, one time transfer for transferring the file. Okay, only the transferring the
Okay,
file.
okay. Got it. Got
Okay, it is something which is related to the networking.
it. Okay.
Okay, clear.
Clear.
Now
Thank you.
now we have delimiter. What is a delimiter here? Tell me.
Comma separated file.
Thomas, the first
So
name and employee user.
yes. So the delimiter means separator. The separator, who is the separator? Comma is the separator which is separating the data from another data. So what you will provide? You will provide comma here as a
Comma.
delimiter. Clear or not? Now you need to provide each and everything to the application. That does this file has a header column? Yes. Then you need to select it. Clear or not? Clear or not?
Yes,
Yes,
clear.
got it.
Okay. So that is the things which you need to define. Now go to the schema. First you configure it. Once you configure, you go to the schema. Once you go to the schema, what is the display attribute and identity attribute? Just give me 2 minutes, I'm coming back. Meanwhile, just find out what is the display attribute and identity attribute. What should be the display and identity in this?
Sorry, I'll be right back to you guys.
Sorry guys. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay. So now what we have defined here, what should be the display attribute? Tell me.
Display attribute is basically, let's suppose for employee ID there is a James, Mary, and everything, right? Those are display attributes, whereas employee ID is the identity attribute.
Okay. So the display attribute should be the one which would be the provide the actual information, right? Correct. Useful information. So what can be
Correct.
the display attribute? It should be the full name, right? Correct.
Right.
So we will provide the display attribute as a full name and the identity attribute as a unique attributes. What would be the identity attribute? The unique attributes.
Employee ID.
Okay. So that unique attribute is employee ID. Clear or not?
Yes.
Rudy, Hemant, clear?
Uh, I heard Ruthvi also will be coming back in few minutes.
Hello, Rudy. Are you there? Hello, Rudy. Okay. Now I might be some audio issue with her. Or
She told she'll be back in few minutes.
oh, okay. That's fine. Okay. Now, so we define the display name as a display attribute as a full name and the employee ID as an identity attribute. Now, whenever you click on the discover schema attribute, once you click on the discover schema attribute, it will automatically fetch all the columns which you defined into the HRFit file. So if you click on this, see here, all the attributes come automatically from here, from this header.
Okay.
Okay, clear or not?
Clear. But you have mentioned only the full name, right?
I just mentioned here full name, but if you see here, I just mentioned here that file has header column on the first line. So it will understand that if I need to fetch the column, header column, the schema is on first line. So I will fetch the all the attribute from there. So that's why it came the all the data from there. Okay.
Okay. It doesn't matter if you give first name, last name in those, right? Because
In
we
here,
already gave it delimited. Yes.
now here you can give anything.
Yeah.
If you
Okay.
want to give email, that is also fine.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
But it has
Email
to
can
be
also be
something in the name. It has to be
is
matched something in the name, right?
no, you can give see the display attribute is the one which will come to the user in front of the user. So obviously you want to put a something which is the you can identify. If you provide the ID here, if you provide the employee ID here as well, so now how you need to identify whether this user is whom this ID is, what this user, right? So that's why you generally give the full name. Correct or not? You can give anything
Okay.
here.
Okay. Got
Okay.
it. Got it. Yeah. Okay. This is where the user sees. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. Thank
Okay. Now, if you click on preview, the preview will tell actually whether the the connection to the file is successful or not. So if you click on this, you see the data is coming properly, which means the all the things are good. The connection is seems fine. The schema is good and everything is good. Now, if you close it, what preview does? The question comes: what preview
you.
does?
Test
This
it
is
and
also.
it looks like Excel.
Mhm. Yeah, what?
It will usually test whether the file is good or not, and it will also show us the table like how it look like in Excel sheet.
It's not the correct answer. The correct answer is it shows top 10 users of the configured application.
Okay.
So we'll
Okay.
only show top 10.
Yep. It shows only top 10. Okay. Here we have it is showing till Williams. If you see here, Williams is on 11th position, which means the first is a header, but it shows top 10 records. Clear or not?
Okay, got it.
Yes.
Okay, and obviously right now these are all the columns here, that's why it is showing that much column. If you would be having only 2 columns, in that case it will show the full name only on that particular column. It depends based on the schema which you are configured. Clear or not?
Got it. Thanks.
Max
Clear?
is only 10, right?
Yes, the column would be the 10, and
Okay.
the rows would be the rows are 10 and the column would be also 10. See here, it has a job title and cost center as well, but it's just showing till the 10 column. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay,
Okay.
clear? Clear or not?
Yes.
Now if you save this, now the Hemant HR feed file has been created successfully. But does the identity came up? No, identity did not came up. So what to do for getting the identities?
Aggregation.
Correct. But before doing the aggregation, I want to set the password to each and every identity. Why? Because in this file, the password is not provided. Correct or not?
True.
Correct or not?
Yes.
Now,
Correct.
obviously, when you configure the identity, you want to set some password. Correct? So either you talk to HR that HR, could you please add one attribute called password, and you feed the password for every user. She will say, I don't care about you, what you want or not. This is my HR feed file. I'm not going to touch anything over there. It's your responsibility to do anything over there. So now you need to write a rule and you need to put a password before identity created into the IAQ. Are you getting my point?
Okay. Is it
Okay.
mandatory, Mohit?
Obviously, see, the password is the one which everyone should have, right? Correct
Correct.
or
Yeah.
not? Right?
Yeah.
See,
Right.
the password, I will show you what are the ways they can configure. But the password, how you will log in, if the password is not configured, you will not be able to log in, right?
True.
Correct or not? So either
Mm.
you need to again define the SSO and then you need to configure it. But that is again, but the still identity IQ password is needed. Okay. So for that one, if you want, I can show you. Even without password you can aggregate the identity. Let's try with without identity IQ, but the problem is we cannot change the password after the identity cube is created from the coding. From the UI you can, but from coding you cannot. Okay, I think so. In that case you need to delete the identity again and you need to do that. Okay, let's leave that right now. You ask a question, can we do that or not? Yes, we can do. If you go to the task now, we are not configuring the creation rule right now. Okay, go to the task. How to configure the aggregation task? Click on this new task. Click on this account aggregation. Once you click on the account aggregation, it will show you the template like that. Give a name, let's say uh, account aggregation HR feed file. Okay, I just give a name of this. You will select the application. So I got the application. What are the all the tabs are there? I will explain you in detail. Right now we are just clicking on the save and execute. Once you click on the save and execute, go to the task result, and here open this task result and check what it is saying. It's saying account is scan 157, identity created 157, which means 157 identity has been created. Is that correct or not?
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now go to the identity warehouse and see there all the identity has been created. Clear?
Yes.
Now
Yes.
mapping is not there. See here, attributes are not coming here properly, but here if you open the application account, all the attributes should come properly, right? Now if you, let's take this user, if you log in with this user without password, let's log out it and log in with this user, and if you log in, it will not work. It's a password required, but password we have not provided. Let's say we pass anything, it will not work. Invalid username password. So what we need to do?
Provide a
Either
password.
either you add this identity, copy paste this identity, and here change password and provide the password here. Let's say and now if you log out, okay, clear, you would
Yes.
be able to log in. Clear or not? But obviously you cannot reset it for all user, right? Correct or not? One by one. From the
Yeah.
coding, it's not possible right now. From the coding, once the identity cube is created, you cannot set the password. Okay? Once your identity cube is created, you cannot. So what you need to do, you need to always create a password or setting a few things into the what creation rule does. First thing, what creation rule does.
Don't know.
What? Okay. It set or update any attributes before identity cube created in identity IQ database. Okay, clear or not?
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Makes sense.
now let's say if I want to update the password, I will write a creation rule. I will put over there the setting a password. How to do that? I will show you now. But before that, let's delete all the identity, because once the identity cube is created, password cannot be set. You can set any other attribute, but password cannot be set. Password create a problem. Okay, so we'll quickly delete all the identities again. Okay, now what we'll do, go to the application, go to the rules here. Here you will see correlation, creation, manager correlation, customization, those rules. Now what we want creation rule. So if you click on these three dots, this window will come. Very important things which you need to understand. First things, when this window will come, you need to see three things. What three things is? What is the return type of that any rule? What is the return type?
Okay.
For any rule, you need to look two to three things. Number first, return type. What is return type of this particular rule? Second, what it returns. Sometime return type right now here for this rule, this is the simplest rule you can consider. Okay, but when you come across the training will go on, then you will understand that there are a lot of hints provided into the returns. Hints. Okay. The second thing which you need to look at the returns, and the third thing which you need to understand is arguments. Clear or not? These three things you should, whenever you open the rule, the three things in your mind is what is the return type of these things. First thing, what is the returns? Okay, right, is it providing any information about returns? And the third thing is what is the argument of this particular
Mm-hmm.
rule? Okay, these things which you need to immediately in your mind. Now what you need to do here, my one thing is clear in my mind. Return type is void. Return type of this rule is void, which means it will return nothing. Correct or not?
Right.
Clear or not? Void means null. It's kind of a name of the null. Correct or not? Void means nothing. Correct.
Right.
So it will
Yep.
return nothing. Now return not showing anything, which means the information, the hint is not given, which means nothing, nothing in the returns. And the argument, you will understand what are the argument is there. It contains log for the logging, context for the context, environment, that is fine. What you need to understand, application, account, identity. They have given application, account, and identity. Correct or not? Now, account means this is the account which is on target system. Identity means identity which is going to create an IIQ, that identity. Okay. So now what you need to do here, you just need to pass first identity dot set password. I am just providing that for all the user, password should be XYZZY.
Mm-hmm.
What I did here, I just pass identity dot set password XYZZY. Clear or not?
Yes.
Now you will say, Mohit, how you will understand the identity container set password? Then I will say, go here,
Java doc.
type a Java doc, and go to the API of the identity. Okay, SailPoint.object, SailPoint.identity, and search for the password. If you don't know about the EWSW, see here get password and set password. Clear or not? And you should be knowing that for updating any password we use set password, for fetching the password we use the get password. Correct? For fetching any attribute. Okay, clear or not?
Okay. Yep.
Now here the set password return nothing. That's why we have here did not pull anything data here, and there's an argument. That's why we pass the argument as XYZY. Clear or not? And
Yep.
it is always better to import the API whatever you are using. If you are using identity, try to import the object import SailPoint dot object dot identity. Clear or not?
Yep.
Yeah, clear.
Okay, if you will not pass it, it will work fine. Why it will work fine? Because this is already provided into the argument. You are not creating any object of this identity. You are using this identity which is already present. This is just for the safety purpose or the coding standard, so that you would be aware that this identity is nothing is SailPoint.object.identity. Is that clear? But we are not using this import. You can remove it, that will also work. Clear or not?
Yep.
Clear.
Got it. Quick question.
Yep.
In the argument, it gives us few attributes:
Yes.
environment, application, account, identity. Right. So
Yes.
how do we know like which one to use? Like
Okay.
log.
Yep. It depends. What is your criteria? Let's say you want to print the statement whether it is successful or
Log.
not. For
Okay.
printing the statement, you will use a log. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so simply you use a log.var and you will add the things here.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
let's say I want to print a log.1, and I'm just printing. This is creation rule, and I'm just printing the identity.getName. Clear or not?
Yes.
What I'm doing here is I am setting a password, and after setting a password I'm just printing this is a creation rule, and I'm printing the identity.getName. Clear? So
Right.
this for the logging purpose, this log context and environment would always be available in all the rules.
Okay.
Okay, log context environment would always be there for all the rules. The application, account, identity, these are the additional argument which has been added here, which might differ rule by rule. Okay, rule to rule.
Okay.
Clear or not? Now here
Got it.
we need to use the update the identity. That's why we use the identity. Let's take the scenario. This is I'm going to give a homework to you. The homework is, let's say my company have a full name James Smith. Correct or not?
Okay. Okay.
Now my company says that Ruti or Hemant, I don't want James.Smith should come here into the IIQ. I want it should come like a James Space Smith. But obviously I cannot ask HR or tell HR that replace this dot with a space. They will say I don't care, right? So
Right.
in identity IQ, I want it should come as a James Space Smith, not the dot Smith.
Okay.
Okay, in that case, what you need to do, you need to write here only. What you will do, you will first, I will give you the idea so that you will at least try practicing that. That is my intention. It should not, you should stuck over there right now, you are not aware. So I will give you the
Okay.
idea, but practice that. Okay, so you will first string full name
Mm-hmm.
equals to account.
Mm-hmm.
Account is the one which contains this information. This is the account right now, correct or not? And this
Right.
process one by one. So account dot get attribute, and here you will pass the attribute name. Attribute name is full name, so you will pass the full name here. Okay,
Okay.
and then what you will pass, you will convert string full name equals to full name
On dot
dot replace. And you
replay.
remember in
Okay.
Java we can replace dot with space using this, correct or not?
Okay. Yeah.
Right,
Yep.
and then what you will do, you will pass
Pankaj.
identity dot set display name or set name, and here you can pass the full name. Clear or not?
Okay. Yep. Got it.
Yeah.
Similar like of this, you can try with the name identity dot set name. Okay, try multiple things, try to change the password. And one more thing, this is one of the homework which I have explained you, and the another homework is which you need to try is, this is the one thing. After that, another thing which you need to try, this is what, changing full name from dot to space. Okay, and I want to try different thing. I want to understand your logic here, what things you
Mm-hmm.
can add. Okay, one of the student, what they do, they instead of converting full name to dot to space, they append first name space last name, get the first name, get the last name, append it using the space, and then put it into the display name, right? That is the
Right.
another approach to do that. You get the first name, get the last name, and append it using the dot space. Clear? Instead of
Clear.
converting into the replace dot to space. That is the another approach which you should try. The another
Okay.
thing which I will suggest right now here, identity dot set password is xyzzy. Find out a code. You will get a lot of code for the random password generator, right? So
Mm-hmm.
my company says I don't want to set the random xyzzy to everyone. Provide the random password generator. Find the code for random password generator
Okay.
and assign that password to identity. Clear or not?
Yep.
Yes. Mohit, one thing, like how to test this thing,
How to?
test this things.
Okay. For random password, don't worry about it, would not be testable because for testing purpose, I will show you how to test it. But uh, random password, obviously you cannot test it. Or you can, I will show you that tomorrow. What are the ways you can check the password? Go to the, that would be the encrypted format, but you can find out the, I will show you that one, how to fetch the
Okay.
password. Okay, that tomorrow. But you cannot actually test everything over there into the random password generator. There is some limitation. That is just for your understanding purpose. But these things you can
Yeah.
test it, right? Correct.
Yeah, these things. Like how
The
can we test?
intention of, yeah, intention of this one is just to find the random password generator. Try to set the password here, you, so that you will improve your that. Okay, how to configure any code from the Google. You will find a code and you will paste it over there, and you will try to make the sense of that, that show that identity will update that password. Okay, clear? It should not give the error. That is your intention. Whenever you do the aggregation, after configuring this aggregation, it should not give the error. Okay, let's say I will quickly now I will quickly remove everything, and you need to ensure also you are configuring, you are trying to configure the log. If I print here log, now let me print now the set password colon creation. Okay, I'm just, you give the name here, you can put any name. Okay, you can just pass creation rule or anything you can give. I have many rule like that, so that's why I'm using that. You don't need to return anything, everything is fine. Import.sailpoint.object.identity, identity.set password xyzzy, log.one, this is the identity creation, identity.get name, that is fine. Let's save this. You need to drop down, the drop down will come. What is the our password is identity creation, right? This is our one,
Yes.
this is our one, set password creation. Okay,
Set password. Yeah.
so then you need to save it. Once you save it, then only it will configure. You want to double check, you can go there and you can check there. Now it should be there like that. Okay, so it's there. Now you go to the task and you need to run this. You can right click, you can open it. If you don't want to change anything, you can come here and right click, execute in background. Okay, the task result is triggering. Okay, see here. Now if you the logs, okay, it did not print anything because I configured logs in the file somewhere. Okay, so that we need to look at it. This is for previous training, which is the SS. Let me quickly check over there. Logs are configured under okay, logs didn't print it here. Okay, some settings are wrong over there. That's why it is not printed. Otherwise the log should print here as well into the console, but in the previous training I made the changes into the logging, which is causing the issue. Okay, now what we need to do here is okay, see here, this is why the problem is because the console is std out is disabled. Okay, now, and it is inside the G training SS training notes. SS training. See, okay, this one, this log is printed here. Now let's check there, it is printed here or not. It is older. It's down. Okay, no. Okay, it will come here. See here on 30th, it is printed. The file is too long, so it is creating problem. Let me check if we can do. See here. See, this is creation rule, and every user is printing. Clear or not, Rudvi, Hemant?
Yes. I can see it.
Okay, clear. For every user it is printed because we have configured log.1, but why it is not printed on the console? Because in the setting I have removed this console std out, but in your the file is not configured yet. This is I will explain into the when we will cover the logging portion. Okay, so in your case it will print into the console here in this console, Tomcat console. Okay, clear?
Okay,
Clear.
so it will print under Tomcat. Okay.
Okay,
Unless we can figure
okay,
them out. Okay, cool.
yes. Okay, try those
Right.
things and come up with the things tomorrow, so that I will understand what's you tried on all those things. Try each and everything, all the things on the creation and all those things. Okay.
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 Thanks,
Have a
Mohan.
nice day.
Thank you.
Dean, are you able to hear me? Dean,
Yes,
Rudy
I
Hemant, you
can.
can.
Yes, I
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay, Rudy Hemant, you can disconnect. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
I will talk to Dean for a few minutes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, hi Dean.
How are you, Mohit?
I'm
Sorry I
good.
took so long to connect,
Yeah.
but because I was having some issues. Because I have used this GoToMeeting in
Mhm.
my position right now about 2019, and after 2019 we never used it back. So my machine was all messed up. It was here, it was there, it was, and then
Okay.
finally I actually used the telephone system, and then I should have used the computer. So it was asking me for a code. So
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah,
Yep.
so I like it. Yeah, I like what you're saying, what you're doing. My only concern is that will I be able to catch up? And by the way, let me explain to you. So I did the SailPoint about, let's say, 2019 and some part of 2018 and 2019, by the way. So 2 years. So I've
Mhm.
been out of SailPoint since about what, 2 years now. So, and by the way, it's not for this job. For me, I'm doing something completely different. It's like medical stuff. So I really don't
Okay.
need to do this. So this is kind of more like an interest, or maybe next year I can start applying for other jobs in SailPoint
Okay.
also, because I get a lot of questions, a lot of people who call me. But with all this disease and all this going on, I wasn't trying to make any change. But maybe early next year I will do it. But I like what you're doing, Mohit. Don't get me wrong. Okay, I'm completely happy with what you did. My only question is that how should I go about doing it? And that's what I was talking to Chanakya or Deepak. I don't know what his name is, but Chanakya, I was
Mhm.
talking to him, and so it's just a matter of what to do and when to do. That's all.
Okay. So see here, Dean. This is the first class you can consider from the training perspective. We have already covered 2 to 3 classes, but the two
Uh,
classes, one classes was the installations where
right,
I
right.
configure the whole component on your local machine so that
Uh-huh.
you can practice. So you see that today we give a homework the same way we continue to do
Right,
that.
right,
So that
right, right.
okay. Okay, so you get the practical hands-on experience. It's not just like I'm just presenting and you are just
I
listening.
know. I can see that. Yes, I can see that.
Okay,
No,
so
don't get me. I like what you're doing. No, don't you?
yeah,
I mean,
no,
I'm
no, no, no,
sold.
no,
I'm
no, no,
sold.
no.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, 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 no. What I'm saying to you is that regarding this, the whatever course is covered. So what I will do, you need to come 2 hours, like a 2 days. 2 days you need to come 7 to 8, and I have a training at 8 to 9. Okay, so from
Mhm.
2 days, we will cover. In the first day, I will explain you all the scenarios, all the uh, terminology which I covered, all the
Mhm.
architecture of the sale point. Okay, and the second class we will cover the installation. Okay, so in
Okay.
2 classes you would be able to cover up the things which we are on here. So you already, today's class, you are already able to understand at least 30 to 20 to 30%, I am expecting, right?
Yes, it is coming back to me, by the way, all those things, because I
Yeah.
remember the tabs and the screens and all that. It's slowly coming back to me. But after 2 years, if you go back,
Yes, yes,
sometimes you take
correct.
time to catch up.
Yeah. And if you
Okay.
see, the Ridvi is also the Ridvi, one of the student.
Mhm.
She's both the students are from the US. The Ridvi is also US, and the Hemant is, I think, I'm not sure he's in India or in US, but Ridvi is in US, and she's also working in SailPoint. She's working on SailPoint support, but she wants to
Mhm.
become into the development portion. That's why she's
Correct,
picked this course.
correct, correct,
Okay.
correct. Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
the recording is already there. Go through the recording. I will suggest go through the recordings. You have
Uh-huh.
today's date, so go through
Mm-hmm.
all the recordings. And from
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow, I will give you the 1 hour extra to you in the morning, 7 to 8,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
we will cover the installation part first in your environment, and we'll cover the terminology part, and then I can explain you these things in detail in the tomorrow a little bit, and then you can continue the sessions. Okay, clear?
Okay, okay. So let me. Mohit, I usually talk very straight, you know. So when I called today morning, I said, "Oh, let me think about it." You know what I'm saying? But now I like this. What you're doing. My only concern is how much do I like it, and usually my day starts very early. I have like 9 hours of work. So after that, I'm trying to do this. So do me a favor. I'm saying yes. What you're saying is your content is great. You know, I think what you're going to cover will be right on the spot. But my only question is that I'll talk to tonight. I'll talk to what's his name, Chanakya
Chanakya?
or Chanakya. So I will talk to him, and so tomorrow morning. So when it's like what's that? So instead of the night, I'll talk to him in the morning. So it'll be evening time for you, not like morning time now. And then I will kind of make sure that I understand what he's trying to suggest. And I'm very much interested in doing it. It's just a matter of whether this batch or the next batch, or whether I should just wait for some more time and get prepared. But I think I can follow along easily what you're doing. So it's not really a big concern, but I have a few doubts that I'll just talk to.
No problem,
Chanakya
no
also.
problem. Take your time, whatever you feels too good. Take your
Yes,
time,
yes,
and
yes,
that's completely fine. It's your call. Okay,
yes, yes.
take your time and decide accordingly. That's fine.
Right,
I just want to explain the things. If you want to consider in this batch also, that also we can manage the things. We can take extra 1.5 hours, and we
right,
can
right.
coordinate it. If you want to move on another batch, that is also fine. But obviously, that once the student would be ready, 2 to 3 students, then only we will start. So that way
Right,
you might
yes.
you might need to wait for some time. That's all.
That is right.
Otherwise,
That's yes.
and what I will suggest, because what happens now, this batch contains the student which have the Hemant is not familiar about the tool, and Rudvi familiar
Mhm.
about the tool, so she needs in depth. So both other
Right.
things are there. So that's what I will
Correct.
suggest.
Correct.
Correct. So if you want with the
Yes.
depth as well, that would be covered here. So it's up
Yes.
to you. That's completely fine,
Yes.
and I don't have any issues with that.
Right. 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 It's like Mohit, when you go to the car showroom, you're passing by. Sometimes you don't want to buy. You want the car, but you don't want to buy it today. You know. So I'm still saying, give me till the whole night. I'll think of this tonight, and
No,
tomorrow morning
no.
I'll call up. So you are the trainer, right, Mohit? So you work in the field, I'm guessing, correct? Or at least you do some work in this training in the identity IQ or
I have I'm already working a full time in a particular organization. Okay, but as my shift start from 12:30 or 1, so in the morning I provided a 2 batch only. Okay,
Oh,
and also
nice.
provide the job support, but that is a separate thing, which
That's fine.
not from the ASHA training, from the separately.
That's fine. That's fine. That's very good. Okay, very good. I'm very happy what you're doing because, by the way, sometimes some places are very slow and some places
And
are very fast. So you are in the right
yeah,
speed for me. You know what I'm saying?
and just for your information, I have around a 5 year experience on working on the SailPoint company itself. So I
Mhm.
developed developed this product, the SailPoint Identity IQ product.
Nice, nice, very good, Mohit. Thank you so much for letting me watch on. I really like it. Like I said, I'm just doing one few hours of thinking because see, it's not just the money. It is also, and it's not the time. It's I have to have a commitment that once I go with
Yes,
the
yes,
course, I have to complete it in like
correct,
well.
correct.
You know,
If you
I have
you
to do
can
it
give a
well.
commitment, and I will simply say, if you can give the commitment, then only pick now. Otherwise, if you can't, it's a waste of time for you as well and for me as well.
That is
I put
correct.
my all efforts, and
You
if you
do
come
see
up
that,
after,
yes.
if you will not do the practice, it will I will skip you. Then I will not ask you any questions after that. So
Correct, correct.
initially 8 to 10 days, I force everyone to push the trainings, to do the things. If they don't do, I never
Right.
ask to that candidate. I start asking to the
Naturally,
other
naturally,
candidates.
that is the US way. You know, if you don't have to ask them if they're interested, they'll come back to you and answer you, and that's
Yeah,
those are your top guys. So that
yeah.
is my issue. You know, and by the way, maybe you didn't know, but I'm just doing like 2 different applications, brand new applications at work. which means that the whole of this, if I had known this last week when I had this, because we had holidays here for like about the whole week,
Yes, yes, yes.
even Wednesday, I went for half day only, and I could easily have taken 3 days off on Wednesday. Then I would have been very happy because I had a flying start. And I'm doing 2 applications. They're brand new applications there at work, which are like really a lot of, have to do, mostly they are like JavaScript and stuff like that. Not really JavaScript, but they are based on JavaScript. So I have to do a lot of work there. So my day gets a little busy also. So I just want to make sure that I have the commitment to do it. It's not the money part is kind of second, you know what I'm saying.
Correct, correct.
So let me talk to Chanakya, and if I'm ready, then I'll be back tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll be very happy to take your second batch. Very happy.
No problem, no problem. Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you. If you have any questions, just let me know.
Thank
Otherwise,
you.
we can drop off.
Thank you, definitely. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.